Who's applying? Who is in the process of application? Who's working it through with us? Let us know. Who's doing it?
Mary Justin, are you there?
If you're in the process of application to pamoja, I can see Darwesh. I can see an Ari anasema she got lost. Lucy Allen. Lucy Allen ako sawa. Vivi anauliza jina ya website. Woi ndio naingia. Hey, okay. Okay.
Tuna work na Carnival Cruises. That's where we are. Carnival Cruises. We are applying a job in the call center department. And that job, by the way, it can be remote. That job is remote. So, hauna your resume, it's okay. So after you upload your resume, Carnival ni CARNIVOR without the E. Sarah, without the E at the end. Carnival Cruises. So after you upload the resume, sasa wataanza kukuuliza about you. They will start getting information about you. Your name, your call, okay, contact information, the position you are applying for. Kama uko na previous professional experience, utaandika hapo, kuna places za kuandika. You write the previous professional experiences. Kama hauna, sasa hebu kwanza tuongee kidogo. Kama hauna a previous professional, for example, you want to be a call center representative na haujai fanya job kwa call center, but you manage your call. Si kila mtu hapa ako na simu yenye huwa ana call, anakoliwa, anaambiwa afanye hivi. You know, that is experience for, because hakuna kitu ingine utafanya kwa call center. You'll just receive calls from clients who have complaints about something in that ship, and then you are supposed to address it or escalate it to the relevant person. That's what you do in a call center in the ship. So sorry. So if you don't have a CV, unaweza ambia Nyawera, mnaweza jua vile mtatengeneza hiyo CV, because I know the skills are there. Kuzieka tu in writing ndio inakuanga the problem. Kuziput down in paper ndio inakuanga the problem. So you can liaise with Nyawera, anaweza kuonyesha how to put your skills, the skills that you have, into writing so that you don't miss opportunities.
One query, Mary. Someone wants you to spell the word carnival. That's Sarah Janji. Spell the word carnival.
Okay, let me write for her.
Okay, thank you.
Carnival.
So right after this, I'll be sharing the jobs of the day. I haven't read any jobs today. So when you're done with this, I'll share the jobs available. I'll take a break. And then after the break, I'll be back and share the jobs available.
So, you're on Carnival, so we went to careers, and then from careers we chose call center. Then we are doing that remote job on the call center department. na sasa tumemaliza kujaza resume, nimejaza, kuna all those questions zenye mtapata hapo. There are spaces that are guided that you feel. They will ask you name, age, date of birth, where are you, uko country gani, nini nini. They will ask you a lot of your information, so you fill that information accordingly. Sio vitu ngumu, ni vitu tu zenye uko nazo. They just need to know more about you. Ulisoma wapi, umesoma course gani, professional, what is your professional experience in the last 10 years, wanasemanga the last 10 years umefanya nini. So when you're giving professional experience, you give professional experience that is relevant to the job you're applying. Usipatiane tu anything. No, you don't need a laptop. I am doing it on my phone, Jane. You don't need a laptop. Carnival. That is the spelling Winnie, carnival. So, nimeshajaza, I was filling those places. And then when you finish, now that is where you get the apply button. When you get that apply button, it shows that umeshajaza kila kitu, and those systems zinakuanga ATS, and they are also wanakuanga wameziset in such a way, kani place ya kuandika numbers, huwezi andika letters and so forth hivyo. So ukiona imeleta hiyo button ya kuapply, ni kumaanisha kila kitu umeandika iko vile inafaa, unless now you wrote the wrong information, but the formats of writing are okay. So nimepata hiyo na nimeapply, nimepress button ya kuapply.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for the response.
What are your responses?
Yes, they have said thank you. Thank you. For me, it's thank you for applying for the, wameniandikia hiyo position nimeapply, alafu wameniambia I am supposed to get an email. So I am going to wait for that email. So that tells you that every time you apply for a cruise job, most cruise lines, they send you an email to acknowledge that they have received your application and that they will go through it. Ndio sasa kama wewe ni a fit candidate, they will be able to take you up and you will go to the next positions, to the next phases of the recruitment. So tusha apply. So for instance, hatujachukuliwa, they will just send you a regret letter in your email kama hawajakuchukua. Readjusting. Different cruise lines have different times za kurespond. So kuna wenye wana take a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months, 4 months. Kama Queen Ivy, I think ni Queen Ivy niliona alisema alijaribu kuapply Royal Caribbean, sijui kukaendaje. Queen Ivy, hebu ni contact, I can help you. In case you don't get the position, they will send you a regret letter in your email. In case you get the position, they will send you a letter that informs you that you have passed that stage of shortlisting. So they, if they are in Kenya, they tell you where they will hold. Kama for example, MSC, they will tell you where they will hold the interviews. But most of the other cruise lines, they set a virtual interview. Those interviews sana sana huwa zina happen through Google Meet, Zoom ama Skype. So make sure uko conversant na hizo vitu tatu, either Google Meet, Skype ama Zoom. That's where they do the interviews mara mingi. So umeenda interview, umechukuliwa ya kwanza, umepita. Ya pili, they always do 2 interviews, the first and the second, and all of them are virtual. So the first interview, you've passed. The second interview, you've passed. If you pass the second interview, you get something called barua, an offer letter. You get an offer letter. That offer letter has what position they want to hire you, how much they will pay, the terms and conditions. Terms and conditions mara mingi zinakuanga, how long are you going to work, how long is your contract, what exactly are you going to do on that cruise line, what timings, utakuwa una work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. ama from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. like wanakuambia hizo details zote kwa offer letter. So when you get the offer letter, you are supposed to reply to that offer letter and say whether you are comfortable with that pay and those terms and conditions. When you say that you are comfortable with those terms and conditions, if you are not comfortable, the whatever ends there. If you're comfortable, then we proceed. When you're comfortable, they will send you something else called an LOE. Now that is the letter of employment. The first one was an offer letter, just to tell you what you're supposed to do and give you details. Now they will give you a letter of employment, an LOE. So that LOE is the one that now confirms that you have been hired. Okay? It confirms that you have been hired. And now hizo vitu zote zenye walikuwa wameandika kwa offer letter sasa wataziandika vizuri kwa hiyo LOE. These are your duties, this is your pay, these are your timings, this is what is expected of you, this is the code of conduct, this is how you're supposed to dress, this is, these are your supervisors, this is the hierarchy, this is the hivyo, wanakupatia hizo vitu zote kwa hiyo LOE. Now, after you get the LOE, sasa tumefika hapo pa passports. So now you are in Kenya and you got that job in Florida. You got that job in Australia. That job iko Canada or wherever. So first of all, if you're applying for these jobs, please have your passport ready. Kwa sababu, they don't have time to wait. They don't have time to wait. Hizi vitu huwa zina happen so fast. Like if you start that process and you're picked and you get that LOE, those things are the things that follow are supposed to happen so fast. Hakunanga time ya kungojea passport itoke. So if you are starting to apply for these cruise line jobs, you must have your passport ready. Ama ujue iko karibu kutoka. Kuna, like for example, ushaenda biometrics, sasa unangojea pickup and all those like that. Lakini si ati una passport sasa hiyo ndo utaanza kuapply. You'll get late. Although pia Kenya kuna shortcuts. So ukipata hizo shortcuts, well and good. So now, when you get that LOE, if that cruise line needs you to work in Florida, for example, Florida is in the US. So in the US, you get something called a C1D visa. So that LOE is the one that you're going to use to apply for the C1D visa. Okay? Now, when you're applying for the C1D visa, there are a couple of other things that you need to have. For example, you'll need to have the passport, that LOE, you'll need to have your medicals done. Okay? Your medicals, depending on the cruise, medicals are done in different places. Kuna zenye zinafanyangwa Zanzibar, kuna zenye zinafanyangwa South Africa, kuna zenye zinafanyangwa Kenya, kuna zenye zinafanyangwa TZ. So depending on which cruise line you have applied to, itakudirect where to get the medical. Lakini the best thing about those medicals right now ni ati kama Princess Cruises walifungua an internationally recognized ama medical facility iko na hizo international standards the cruise lines in Kenya. So most cruises now I'm sure they will partner with Princess, ndio watu wako Kenya wanaenda hiyo yenye iko Kenya badala ya kwenda South Africa and all in hizo vitu zote. But earlier on before Princess wafungwe huku Kenya, mtu alikuwa anaenda South Africa. Like me, I went to South Africa for my medical because that's the only place they know that they have those equipments that are needed. So, as you're applying for your C1D visa, I say the C1D visa needs a couple of things. That is the passport, the LOE. The LOE is the letter of employment. The LOE, medicals, na hizo vitu zingine zote zenye visa inahitajingi. They need proof that you are not going to go and stick there. Utaenda upotelee Florida ati umeenda job na umeenda ship upotee. They need proof that you will not go and escape there. Nasikia watu wakisema kufanya nini? Kukemboi. Usikemboi huko. They need proof from you to show that you can sustain yourself at least for the first month. You have funds that can sustain you at least for the first month. Mara mingi they need watu wengi, sometimes they will ask for travel history, but because you have the LOE, hiyo LOE huwa ina cover your travel history. Because you're not going to travel, you're going to work. So here LOE, it covers the travel history. So you have to have proof of funds. You have to have family ties back in Kenya that will make sure that you come back, like family ties, like title deeds, land or businesses. Maybe wewe unakuanga na business iko registered. Hizo vitu ndizo zina provingi. Na sana sana family, watoto, your mother, your husband, kama hauna exactly KTL, kama watoi, kama marriage certificate, kama title deeds, na upeane moja tu, usipeane mingi kwa uko na mingi, just one, just to show that you have things in Kenya that will make you come back. Hautaenda kupotea. Aya, so when you have those things, you apply for your C1D visa. As you're waiting for your C1D visa to come out, there is something called STCW. Every person who works in the cruise line or cruise ship needs to have that STCW or something called the Seaman's Book. Okay? So, hiyo Seaman's Book, if you're in Kenya, unaweza ipata MSc. MSc ukienda bandari, wanakuanga bandari hawa watu wakufunza, watakufunza hiyo cross at 35,000. Ati if I have parents, no title, no business, no children, what happens? You show your family is the tie. You show family ties. Your family ties are what will make you come back. Sawa? Sawa, Sarah. Is it allowed I apply for all cruises in call center? Well, it depends, Mary Justin. It depends whether you can be able to work on remotely for all cruise lines because there are many. It depends on whether you are able to manage to work well and efficiently. If you can, why not? You know, if you can, just apply. So, where were we? Tulikuwa wapi?
Tulikuwa tunaongea training bandari.
So there is an MSc training center in Bandari yenye inalipishanga 35,000. When you pay that 35,000, I think inakuanga for 2 months or a month. No, inakuanga for 8 weeks, 1.5 months. 8 weeks ni 2 months, right? Yeah, inakuanga for 8 weeks. You pay that 5,000 for the 8 weeks, and you get, by the time you're done, you will get your STCW and your Siemens book. Like everything that a person who is working in the cruises needs, utapewa. Ulikuwa umeuliza swali gani?
Rudia tena what you just said. What did you say about the training?
That training, it costs 35,000 and it is for 2 weeks. Inakuanga 2 weeks. Sio 8 weeks, inakuanga 2 weeks. And you pay 35,000, and by the end of that training utakuwa umepata the STCW or the Siemens book, depending on which one the cruise line you are applying to inataka. Yes. So when you get that, either the STCW certificate or the Siemens book, or whichever you get, that one can be used worldwide. It can be used for any cruise line because it is the same. Inakuanga standard kwa cruise line zote. So when you get it there, you don't have to struggle ati juu ni ya wapi hapana. It is used worldwide. And that one is needed for everybody who is on board the ship and is working. It is needed. Ni kama vile watu wa hospitality lazima wakuwe na hiyo ya health certificate, ni kama hivyo. Hizo unalipia kando, hiyo 35k unalipia kando uko bandari. Hiyo hata haiko kwa hiyo cruise yenye una apply. Hiyo unalipanga tu uko bandari. Yes, the contract is renewable, Winnie, but it also depends on how well are you working. Wewe ni mtu wa kujituma ama unasukumwa. So your work is what will renew your contract. Yes. But the contracts are renewable. Hazikuangi fixed term. They are renewable. But if you don't feel like continuing, they always get a person. They don't have a problem. Jane Shanice, kuna cruise lines unazilipianga tickets, kuna zingine wanakulipianga, na kuna zingine huwa wana reimburse. Unajilipia, then when you get to work, they reimburse you. So it depends. It depends on which cruise line you land on. Kama nakuelewa, hizi vitu ni za wenye wako on board. Wa remote yao inaishia Yes, Sarah, that's true. Remote, you will still be in Kenya, so you will not need all those other things, the sijui C1D visa and stuff. You'll just need to start working. But if now you need to relocate from here to there, that's when you need these things now that I am talking about. Yes. Kuna zile wanakutrain on board, Felipe. That's true. Kuna zile wanakutrain. They train you and then, but majority wanakuitishanga hiyo STCW na Siemens. That's why I mentioned, so that in case wakuitishe, you'll know where to get it. But if you apply and you are not asked for it, why should you stress? Well, unaenda tu. Unaendelea tu, because there are some that train you on board and then you are good to go. But there are some that they need you to be trained before you get there. Yes. So, ukishapata hiyo STCW, kama walikuitisha sawa, kama hawakukuitisha, you know, if they don't ask for the STCW or the Siemens, you definitely know that they'll train you when you get to the work. So usijali pia. The ongelelea agencies kiasi. Those 3 agencies, you just apply just like the way I have shown you. Utaenda tu hapo Castaway, uende careers, utague ile career unataka, uapply, then they will reach out to you. They don't have places where you will get them. You can only get them online. You kama ni Cipro, una Google Cipro stuff, hivyo. Kama ni Explorer Journey, the same, hivyo. So, umeshapata hiyo STCW kama umeitishwa ama Siemens book, umeshapata. So, bado, and I'm assuming umepata C1D visa. C1D visa inaweza kaa. So, alafu, hizo visas huwa zina depend na country. They stay, how long you will get your C1D visa depends on the country you are applying to. Kama za US zinaweza kaa sana kuliko za Australia. Because the processes of applying also are different. Australia is fully online. US lazima uende interview kama ile ya visit visa. Although saizi niliona wametoa interviews mingi hata US. Wametoa interviews. Interview imebaki sana sana ni ya visit visa, of which hiyo imekuwa since kitambo. So, okay, after you go through that whole process, ukumbuke, because you have the LOE, and those people in Carnival Cruises know that you are applying for the C1D visa. Wanajua. Because already ukipatia na information ulikuwa umesema uko Kenya. So don't lie. Don't lie where you are. Because when you lie, they are not going to be able to help you. Okay? Kama Carnival, they will help you attain the C1D visa. They will give you an LOE and they will give you some other documents hapo zenye utapeleka sasa embassy zenye zitakusaidia kupata hiyo C1D visa haraka. Okay? And that C1D visa ikishatoka, then you'll be ready to travel. Just for your knowledge, C1D visa, hata ukienda ukemboi huko na C1D visa, utashikwa na utadipotiwa na hutaajiriwa tena kwa cruise line yoyote. Because C1D visa is like a transit visa. You see? So you are not supposed to stay with it on land. Mtu mwenye ako na C1D visa ni either mtu mwenye anakaa tu kidogo, maybe anakaa airport dakika 2-3, ama 1 hour, 3 hours aende, ama mtu mwenye ako on transit. Hiyo C1D visa inakuanga transit visa. So if you are ukipatikana nayo on land, you are deported na hautaipata kazi tena kwa any cruise line. So you should be careful. C1D visa si kama visit visa yenye unaweza enda ubadilishe to work visa and stuff like that. No. So when you get your C1D visa, if they are supposed to pay for your tickets and what have you, they will send you. Now that's ukiwaambia umepata C1D visa, they will send you your ticket and your starting date. And they always give you some little time ya prepare, like 2 weeks or 3 weeks ya prepare before you go. Yes, so they give you some time to prepare and then you leave. So after, for example, your contract was 8 months. After 8 months of working, na by the way, uko kwa cruise ship ni kama tu kwa hoteli. Vile watu huwa wana work in shifts, vile watu huwa wana work sometimes long hours, you know. So you have to be ready psychologically. You have to be ready. Hi Eve, sasa, how are you doing? I will text you for sure. So, yeah, that's just about it. After that, sasa si utakuwa uko job. After job, so depending on the contract, utaka job your time. If you will be able to, if it will be a fixed contract, well and good. If you can renew it, well and good. Evo. Yes. So that is the whole process from application to you going to that place, yeah, kupata kazi. I don't know if there are any questions. Ukitalk long to submit
There's a
documents,
question.
what happens? Na I already I secured a position. If you take long to submit the documents, the longer you take, the more there is a chance of giving your chance to someone else. So ukitishwa hizo documents unapatiana haraka haraka. You see? Because not all cruise lines have patient people ama understanding people. Kuna wenye wanaweza elewa, kuna wenye hawaelewi. Ukipatana na mwenye haelewi,